Alright, it is time for me to finally review this fragrance, and it is probably my most favorite fragrance that I have discovered in 2021. It is not a fragrance that is by any means like the most epic in the world, but for its price point, it is probably one of the best fragrances in its price point, and that is none other than Nike Man Blue. Yes, what is a $9 fragrance doing in a most epic review like this? Highly acclaimed fragrance by me. You know me guys, I love fragrances. I have a whole bunch of fragrances like right there. I don't have like the most expensive, I don't really have much niche fragrances or like high-end designers, but I do have a pretty decent collection, and I've smelled a lot of cool high-end fragrances as well. But for me, the reason I love this scent so much, right, I even have the big boy bottle because I love it so much. Now, if you're into gourmands, if you're into kind of like sweet, fruity smells, kind of like a little bit warm, just sweet fragrances, you will love this. Nike Man Blue is probably one of the best fragrances out there for the value and price proposition and what you get. And let me talk to you about why that is. So, Nike Man Blue, I'm not really sure which bottle I should show you guys while I review it. I'm thinking probably I'll just alternate between them, whatever. But man, they smell great. If you guys don't know yet, this fragrance is a clone, well not really a clone, I'd say more of an inspired fragrance of Jean Paul Gaultier's Ultramalt. Now, what does this smell like? Now, I haven't smelled Ultramalt all that much, but from what I've remembered, this is basically Ultramalt, but with a lot of corners cut. Sorry, did I say that right? But with a lot of corners cut. So Ultramalt is this kind of burnt vanilla, pear, aromatic, sweet, warm fragrance. Very kind of deep and playful, very masculine, but at the same time kind of unisex as well. Now, I know it says Nike Man and Ultramalt, but there's a unisex fragrance. I don't care what anyone says. It's a freaking unisex fragrance. It smells sweet enough with enough kind of, aromatics in it and notes to make it considered a unisex fragrance. So it's a unisex fragrance, guys, girls, if you're watching this is a unisex fragrance, but at the same time, you can wear what you want. Wear whatever you want. I think we have moved past the need for genderizing fragrances. Wear whatever the hell you want. Go ahead. Nike Man Blue. What does this smell like? This is an interesting smell. This is one of those fragrances where it kind of changes as you wear it, which is great, because when it comes to cheaper fragrances, I think you can get this for like 20 or 15, and you can get this one for 10. This is the 200 ml bottle, this is the 100 ml. They smell the same, don't worry. Just because it's bigger doesn't mean it's weaker or stronger. They're the same. Presentation, gotta look at the presentation, right? Here is the presentation for Nike Man Blue. It's a nice velvety kind of bottle, and then the cap slides into place, kind of cheap. And the Atomizer is pretty decent. Pretty decent Atomizer. Wow, nice. Before we get into the smell, I gotta show you the other one. Of course, here you go. Here's the other one. Instead, this one kind of clicks into place, which is a little bit better, and it's got some texturing on the cap as well. I don't know if you can see that. Yeah, got some texturing on the cap. And the Atomizer in this one kind of sucks. I don't know why, but it sprays, but then it stops spraying, and then it sprays really fine. Yeah, it's a little annoying. Big boy bottle, it sprays way better. Way better. Alright. In the very opening, I get a blast of this hot kind of pineapple accord, and a bit of apple, like a little bit. So you get a blast of pineapple, and this hot accord in this, where it gives it this hot juiciness. And what I mean by that is, it's kind of like an ambery pineapple. So you get the pineapple, it's nice and fresh, tangy, a little bit sour, and very sweet. Then there's this kind of spice to it, but it's a fluid spice. It's not like cinnamon, where, it does smell like cinnamon to me, but it's like a flowy, liquidy spice to it, if that makes sense. So it's a pineapple scent with fruity pineapple, and then you have this spice to it, this liquid spice. I'm not too sure how to explain. It could be the carrot seed, because there's carrot seed listed in this, but it could be cinnamon that might not be listed. I get a ton of cinnamon, okay? I know it's not listed, but bro, I can smell it. It's probably carrot. It's probably the carrot, but who knows? If you guys don't know what carrot smells like, carrot is like this earthy spice kind of scent. It's a little bit like a rounded off cinnamon, less woody, an earthy cinnamon. To me, at least, that's what I smell with carrot. But the carrot seed, think of like the freshness of carrot, the smell of carrot, the kind of darken it, make it a bit more smooth. It's honestly pretty good. I know carrot isn't usually a scent you'd like in a fragrance, but the carrot seed is actually pretty decent. It's funny because on the tester strip, right, this fragrance, all you can smell on the tester strips for me is pineapple. Legit, that's all you can smell on the tester strips. Yeah, pineapple and that apple. It is so weird. It is so weird. I don't get why that is. But on skin, my skin especially, you know, you get more. You get that vanilla, you get that the tonka bean, and you get a little bit of aromatics as well, which is the, if I look in the note breakdown, there's lavender, geranium, carrot, iris. There could be the aromatics. I don't really smell too much of them, but it's there. It does add some depth to the fragrance. Because once the fragrance reaches its second stage, it's kind of more linear. Now the first stage of the fragrance is that fruity blast of that pineapple, that kind of, you know, apple. Then you got that, you know, hot accord from probably the cinnamon or carrot, whatever it is, that ambery kind of smell. And then it just fades away into this sweet, spicy, kind of a little, not too powdery, but kind of just a sweet, like a sweet fragrance with a bit of a spicy kick to it. Slightly spicy, but not overly spicy. It smells very much like vanilla in the dry down. If you look at the top notes here, everyone says that they smell vanilla, tonka bean, and pineapple. And I have to agree with that, except the carrot seed would have to be at number 3 for me, because it's the only spicy note in this note breakdown, and a lot of people aren't really educated on what carrot seed smells like anyway. When it dries down, it's vanilla, tonka bean, the carrot seed, and just a slight hint of those fruits, a slight hint. Those fruits kind of, they disappear when it dries down, so it's, you know. But in that opening, yes, that hot pineapple accord is great, along with those aromatics and that background of sweetness. It's amazing. Man, I love this fragrance. I just love spraying the hell out of it. It's so nice. That was a lot of sprays. Don't do that much sprays. But, nice. That vanilla, that carrot seed, or cinnamon, whatever. That pineapple. Dude, this is such a delicious fragrance. It's nice and sweet. It's nice and warm. It's nice and just really, really well-made fragrance. It does not smell cheap at all. That's the thing. On the tester strip, the pineapple does come across cheap. Yes, it does. But for $9 or $15, depending on which one you get, it's such a good value proposition fragrance. Now, it does smell like Ultramol, because Ultramol kind of has the similar vibes to it, but it's more like linear, as you could say. So if you wanted an alternative to Lamol, like if you have Lamol and you don't really want to use it as much, you could get this one. Get this one. You will not regret buying it at all. Now, the performance on this is ridiculous, but this fragrance lasts and lasts and lasts. You only need a couple of sprays and it'll last the whole day. It is very strong when it comes to like the longevity, but when it comes to the projection, it's kind of more intimate. That's the thing with these fragrances. These fragrances, they kind of stick close to your skin. Like they don't really project for some reason, unless you spray a lot and you move around a lot. Of course it's going to perspirate, but in general, these kind of fragrances don't really like project as much, but they are pretty strong in the longevity department. Now the Sillage, it doesn't really leave a scent trail. It doesn't really have a big scent bubble. It's kind of like a small scent bubble, but for the whole day. So it's pretty decent. Now that I smell it more, I can smell that lavender. And yeah, it's just there, it's nice. So this fragrance, what else to say about this? Now it's funny because when I first smelled this fragrance, I didn't like it as much because it was overly bearing with the pineapple note. Yeah, the pineapple note on this, it is so weird how this works because on the tester strip, all I can smell is pineapple. That is weird. But on my body, it's more than the pineapple. You got that carrot seed, you got the vanilla, the tonka bean, the aromatics, which I don't get. But yes, that is Nike Man Blue, one of the best value proposition fragrances that I have ever discovered. Big boy bottle, never gonna use this up. I love this. Nike Man Blue, get in. Also, a little backstory on the Nike fragrances, but Nike is actually not owned by the shoe brand. This fragrance company has been founded since 1920 something or something like that. They've been around for a long time, and they've had the trademark for Nike for ages, before the shoe company started. They just let the shoe company have it because, I don't really know, but basically they kept the name, so Nike Perfumes is a company separately. Because I see a lot of fragrance reviewers, now I'm not trying to like call anyone out, it's just my observation, but a lot of fragrance reviewers, when they talk about Nike, the fragrance brand, they think that it's owned by the Nike the Nike shoe company, and then they call them sports fragrances. These aren't sports fragrances. Nike, or Nike, whatever you want to call it, makes cheaper alternatives to more expensive designer brands. So that's that. They're more affordable designer fragrances. They're all pretty much clones. The only one that I don't really know what a clone of is Nike Man Graphite, which I'll get in a minute. Here's a couple of examples. So Nike Man Indigo is a clone of Boss Bottle. Nike Man Green is a clone of Paco Rabanne's Black XS. And the only one who I don't know what it's a clone of is this one, Graphite. Here's a big boy bottle. This is part of the premium edition. So yeah, I don't know what it's cloning. It kind of smells like Original Santal, just a touch. You know, it smells like something. I just don't know what it is. Maybe one of the Polo fragrances. I'm not too sure, but that's that. So if you like this review, please leave a thumbs up. It is actually really helpful. It's like donating money to subscribers, to YouTubers, without actually donating money. And if you guys really like this, really like the sound of this fragrance, I advise you to check them out because this is really good. This is great stuff. I love this. I'm going to keep this around for the next future videos. It's going to be part of my most kind of acclaimed fragrances. Because right now, the most acclaimed fragrances I have is Body Curos, Explorer, this one, and there's another one too. What was it? I can't really remember right now. But yes, so this is part of my critically acclaimed fragrances for me. I love this. This is so good. Try it out. $9. If you don't like it, give it away. It's more cheaper than a freaking double quarter pounder meal at McDonald's. Bruh, what are you waiting for? Get it. That is that. Also, I'm a knife maker. If you guys like knives, check out my channel. I have tons of knives that I make. Other than that, thank you so much for watching. If you guys want to see more fragrance reviews, let me know. And peace.